All right, guys, we're reaching the end. We are approaching the end game of the NFL. So we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about basically, as we've always been talking about. I lost myself. The my NFL predictions for all 10 people who watch these videos. Anyway, so let's talk about the next few games. And we're coming closer to the playoffs, and the playoff picture is slowly forming. Like, it's really like we now know who's going to be here. Or is there? Because there may be some shakeups. I do feel like there's going to be some shakeups this week. I do feel like there is going to be some major shakeups. Starting off with the Chiefs and the Chargers starting tomorrow. This is going to be a hell of a match. This is going to be a hell of a match because the Chargers are in striking distance of the Chiefs' lead in the division. So this is a game to determine who is going to be the leader of the AFC West. And it's a slugfest right now because everyone's so up and down. I am actually going to give this to the Chargers. Why? Because, A, it's going to be in their stadium. Divisional games are always bring out the best, unless you're the Raiders, who made the mistake of stomping all over the logo on the field. And also, the Chargers are now, like, clicking on all cylinders. Like, I am just seeing them, like, slug it out with opponents. Some good, some not so good. But these guys, like the Bengals, were actually legit. So I do see this as a legitimate game. And I think something's telling me that the Chargers are going to be the ones to take this game. I do feel like the Chargers are going to be the one to take this game. Next up, we have the two Saturday games. And those are the Raiders and the Browns and the Patriots and the Colts. Let's start off with the Raiders and the Browns. Raiders, you have done the annual fall to shit. Meanwhile, the Browns, you're in striking distance of the 7th seed of the playoffs. This is going to be interesting. Browns have been really, like, up and down, and this is another game that could go either way. I am giving it to the Browns because, yeah, you have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and, yeah, you got, I do see this is going to be a fight, but I have no more faith in the Raiders. Sorry, Chris. I don't know if you're watching this, but I just have no more faith in the Raiders. Now, let's move on to the Patriots and the Colts. This is going to be fascinating. The Patriots coming off of a bye, and they're going into Indianapolis. Excuse me. This is going to be fascinating. I'm going to say something really controversial. I'm giving this to the Colts. Why? Why am I giving this to the Colts? And also, why am I giving it no less to the AFC South divisional rival? The only, real rival the Titans have. Multiple reasons. One, the Colts have been on a massive upswing. They have been, on fire as of late. They've really just been, stampeding through opponents most of the time. Carson Wentz has just been... has been coming into form. That run game is actually devastating, and yeah, I do think the Patriots have been they've just been getting lucky. That's the thing. I know it's easy to the Patriots just been lucky, but no, really, it has been if you've noticed, there's been a string of luck that's been on their side, or they just keep hitting Russian roulette and missing the gun. The gun doesn't go off for them. This time, however, I do think the gun's going to go off. They're going to play Russian roulette and lose here. The Colts, like I said, their defense is also... I know this is... now they've gotten the 6th seed, and they're going to fight to keep in the playoffs again. And something tells me Colts and Titans are going to run into each other once again in the playoffs, and this is how they do it, by knocking down the Patriots. However... it could be a good thing for the Titans in the long run. So I am giving this to the Colts. This is going to be a fight, and it's going to show that the this is also the game to show that the Colts are don't mess with us. We may have started 0-3, but now we're 0-4, but now we're in business. Next up, we got my Tennessee Titans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, you are up and down, and you're always going down. Oh, but you could say, but we came back against the Vikings and the Chargers, and to which I say, it's the Vikings and the Chargers. Titans, you guys are coming off a bye week with multiple injuries. This is actually a tough game because for some damn reason, you know, this is also going to be in Heinz Field, but this is going to be a tough game. I do see, like, this is a very winnable game for the Titans, and yeah, you want to keep this road going, then you need to keep the foot on the gas and put an end to this Pittsburgh Steelers, because yeah, just take them out of their misery. You want to get Big Ben Raplesberger out of Pittsburgh. Embarrass him at home, Titans. I know you don't have Derrick Henry, but you've still got enough weapons on offense to prove that you guys are a danger. So, tighten up. Next up, we got the Bills and the Panthers. Bills, I feel so sorry for you because once again, the referees didn't call a pass interference call on the Buccaneers. That's another time. Like, that can't... Like, right in front of the refs, too. Like, it was right in front of the refs. And you lost that overtime game because of it. But now you've got the Panthers, who are the Panthers. So, I'm giving you this. But you're fighting now hard to keep that 7th seed. Because the Browns are right behind you, as are a few other teams. So, you know, if you want to keep playing, you know, you want to stay in the offense and get your revenge on the Patriots and everyone else in the AFC and show that it wasn't a fluke the first time around to get in the playoff. The last year's playoff run wasn't a fluke. You have got to play hard. You have got to play hard, man. So I'm giving this one to the Bills. Next up, we got Washington versus the Eagles. Both teams. This is a tough one to call because I don't know, like, this is a tough one. I am going to give this is one that could go either way. Some's telling me to go with the Eagles, even though that Washington defense is really good, but Taylor Heineke is, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Taylor Heineke. No fault of his own. He's just injured, and he was limping around that Cowboys game. They did make a good comeback, but I am giving this to the Eagles, but I would not be shocked if Washington did win this. Next up, we got Tank Bowl. Texans and Jaguars. This is just basically to play, like, see who's going to drop in the tank. Like, who's going to get a higher stasis in the tank. Like, who's going to get a higher pick in the tank. And I'll give you a hint, it's going to be the Lions, neither of you. You're just playing for, like, who's going to get second and third place at this point. I am going to give this to the Texans because maybe this will wake up Shahid Khan to fire Urban Meyer sooner. That's a thought. Anyway, moving on now to the Cowboys and the Giants. Cowboys, you guys were dominating most of that Washington game, then you almost fell in on yourself. Yeah. If you want to prove, like, how about them Cowboys are worth getting into the playoffs, you got to make a statement out of the Giants, which I'm pretty sure you possibly could. So, giving this one to the Cowboys, but again, you know, the divisional games always bring out the best. Next up, we have the Cardinals and the Lions. Cardinals coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Rams, but it's the Lions, so the Cardinals. It's the Cardinals. Moving on now to the Jets and the Dolphins, AFC East divisional game, and yeah, this is another game that could go either way. The Jets have had some surprisingly close games. Dolphins are making a roaring comeback in the playoffs, and they're actually, if they can win a few more games, they are in striking distance of proving they can be in the playoffs. So, but they need to win all the remaining games to even, like, make a shot at it. So I'm giving this one to the Dolphins because, again, Jets are gonna jet. Next up, we got the Bengals and the Broncos. Bengals, you're now back in the hunt for the playoffs. So you need a lot more to go right for you. One of those things is winning all your games. Broncos have a solid defense. QB can be Teddy Bridgewater has been very on-off, but I am going to give this one to the Bengals. I do think they have enough in the tank to fight the Broncos in this matchup, even though they did win. I mean, it was the Lions, so... And you did have I'm very happy that you guys won for Demaryius Thompson, but I am going to give this one to the Bengals. But this is a game that could go either way, honestly. This is one of those either way games. Next up, you got the Falcons going to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's old team comes back to take on his new team. It's like the Misses and the X fighting in front of you. I'm going to give this one to the 49ers. It's another team that's been on the upswing, and the Falcons are going to falc. That's all I can say. Following that, we got the Seahawks and the Rams. This is another game that could go either way, because for some reason, like, when I always say, like, divisional games bring out the best in both teams, it's never more evident than it is when it's a game in the NFC West. So I am giving this to the Rams, but this is how if they lose here, Seahawks are knocked out of the playoffs. So, but this could go either way. Like, if they win, the Seahawks keep their playoff hopes alive just a little bit longer. So I am giving this one to the Rams. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to the Rams, though. I do think they are coming off of a big win against the Cardinals, so this is gonna be a good one. Next up, we have the Packers taking on the Ravens. Ravens, very up and down, and I don't think they're going to have Lamar Jackson for this game. They still have a decent enough defense and enough weapons on offense. But the Packers, even though they've suffered some injuries, they are fighting. And, yeah, they're going to put up a damn good fight in here. I am giving this to the Packers. The Ravens are just so hot and cold. But, yeah, this one's going to the Packers. They want to keep that number 1 seed now that the Cardinals lost. Next up, we have the Buccaneers and taking on the Saints. Saints, this is another team that really needs to keep winning all their games to keep their playoff hopes alive. But yeah, Taysom Hill's still injured. Trevor Siemian, I don't know if you're going to use him. Buccaneers, you guys also. But here's the thing. The Buccaneers are looking very mortal lately. And you could say, oh, but they've been winning games. Yeah, but they're winning games in close ones that they should have won. Look, and it's not just the Colts or the Bills game. Look at the Falcons game. Look at a few other games, and I can point to where there's like, that was just lucky. Like, they just got luck. They just had luck on their side in those other games. And it's no more evident than it was the Bills game. They had the Bills dead to fucking rights. And then they just shit the bed consistently against the Bills. And the Bills came back. And they only won because one guy slipped and couldn't make a tackle. That was it. Let me ask you something real quick. Do you trust this team with Tom Brady to make it far in the playoffs? I sure as fuck don't, but then again, I fucking hate Tom Brady, so, there is that. But I am giving this to the Saints. Why? They're a losing team, and they're struggling in the playoffs. So why the hell am I giving this to the Saints like I did last time? Number of reasons. Divisional game. I've already talked enough about why those get intense. Also, the Bucks have no answer for that goddamn Saints defense that it's not even funny. And I'm pretty sure a lot of their players are going to be healthy. This is going to be a Saints defense that is like a Saints team that is pretty hungry to prove something. And they're going to want to prove it again against the Buccaneers. That they are still a team even without Drew Brees. So, yeah, I am going to give this one to the Saints. I think the Saints are going to pull off the upset like they did the last time. Yeah. Moving on now to our final game of the week with Monday night's game of the Vikings and Bears. Vikings, you almost shit the bed against the Steelers. And Bears, you lost in a surprisingly close game against the Packers. The Bears are like one game away from, I think, 1 or 2 games from being ejected from the playoffs. But here's the thing. I am actually going to give this to the Bears. Why? Multiple reasons. And this is a game that could go either way. And this is another game where the Vikings need to win this in order to keep their playoffs alive. They are right behind Washington for that 7th seed. So they need, not only does Washington need to lose for the Vikings to at least try to get in, but they also need to keep winning all their games to at least earn a contention in the playoffs. But here's the thing. I don't think the Vikings deserve to go to the playoffs. Multiple reasons. Number 1, they have amazing talent. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins when he's not being an asshole. They have so much talent on there. And they consistently they don't play up to potential. Like, I don't know if they just need a better coach. Zimmer needs to get fired. There's no doubt about that. But, like, there is so much in these games where I'm watching this going, that you had the Steelers dead to rights throughout the majority of the game. And then, I don't know if you just drank the stupid juice or something, but, like, you guys almost failed in that game. You guys, made the Steelers look good again. Seriously, I don't know what to say about the Vikings. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs, honestly. Until they make some changes, they have a great talent, but it's wasted talent. And the Bears, you're no better either. Bears, you have Matt Nagy, who should have been fired 2 seasons ago. Justin Fields looked great, but I'm afraid he's going to be ruined after a few other games I've seen this year. I'm afraid he might be damaged goods. But yeah, at least they actually at least the Bears attempt every time to play up to potential. You have to give them that. Vikings, I don't know if you believe your own hype or you just just don't know when to show up for a game or stop showing up for a game. So, I'm going to give this one to the Bears. They're going to play and keep their playoff hopes just a little bit longer alive. They're not going to make it to the playoffs, but this is a game where someone wins and everybody loses. Bears win, that'll just give the McCaskies a reason to keep to maybe be like, you know what, maybe Nagy will get something done next season. Or if the Vikings win, the Vikings owners will be like, you know what, we'll keep Mike Zimmer around a little longer. And nothing wrong on QB situation with Kirk Cousins, so we're fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, this is a game where if someone wins, nothing's going to change for either team. So if someone's got to lose to make some changes. But I am giving this to the Bears. But again, this is a very much someone wins, everybody loses situation. So there you go, guys. You guys tell me in the comments below, who do you think who's going to come out on top in these games? Who do you think, for all 5 people who watch these videos, I just enjoy, it's just a nice change of pace. But anyway, once again, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.